Just trying to get the focus a little better on the camera. That's good enough. Okay, so I'm going to be painting another kitchen painting. The light's changed quite a bit since I started, so it's going to be interesting. So when I start a painting, I always use my hands, as like a little cross section. This way is going horizontal, so here you can kind of imagine what I'm going to paint. And then I look for the center line, which happens to be about where the lip of this pot comes. It's pretty accurate. So this these little scissor handles, other stuff going on. Eventually I want to do some more high quality videos. But right now, these live ones seem to work pretty well. It's always hard setting up everything by myself. All right, so I'm checking everything again, and it seems like I'm getting a little crazy. The glass should probably fall around here. And this mug up here. Okay, so I think that's looking pretty decent so far. Sponge goes here. It's our crazy cat. Of a pencil anyway. I use this non-photo blue pencil to sketch things in. And the light did change quite a bit since I started. So right now, it's just gonna get even crazier. I'm just gonna try to block in the light really quick so I can kind of remember. I'm just using a really light wash of yellow. I don't always work this way, but it kind of is just helpful. One of the lessons I had in college was to block everything out in oil paints in the cool complementary for the shadows. And I still do that sometimes, and it's helpful. Got some of these blinds. And I'm using a limited palette. Here comes my dog. Sorry for all the animal noises. But I'm using a ultramarine blue, a rose red, and a, looks kind of like a cadmium yellow. No particular reason. I'm kind of just feeling experimental. And I'm keeping it pretty thin as usual. This blue is not coming out how I want. I think this red is really strong. Changing my plan. I'm gonna go in and try to add this sky blue. Because I really like this part, this reflection here. And I want to make sure that that's in there. Although this ultramarine is more of a purpley blue. So it's not exactly how I would want it. Adding a little bit of yellow to green it up a bit. These colors are new to me, this palette anyway. I'm using Royal Talons paint that I've had lying around. I'm not sure if I like it yet. I haven't been a fan of the consistency of it. All right. So here's this mug coming in. Beautiful mug. I have a little more fun doing this on Instagram because a lot more people are chatty. Actually, I'm not even sure how to read the comments on YouTube, so if you're commenting, I'm afraid I'm going to have to answer after. Okay, so I want to get some of these darks in. So I'm mixing a little bit of everything together. It's going to be mostly blue, a little bit of this red, and enough yellow to tone it down so it's not this bright purple. All right, it's not super dark, but it's going to do. And then we got this handle coming up here. These are little scissor handles. We have a spoon coming out. Kind of want to fill in some of these spots. That's our sink. And I'm gonna put in this faucet. It's all the way up. Oops. Don't know if this one's gonna end up very good. All right. Just gotta try. Then I have the shadow coming up here. And this sink actually goes here. Using some paper towel to wipe away if it didn't work out as planned. And then adding in some of these blinds. Shadows carrying down here. Just want to fill in all these colors. It's a big yellow sponge right here, so I'll just block that in. Sponge goes into the glass, carries through a little bit. A bit of reflection. This pot. And shadow from the mug. We have this red bowl here. I know it's just a blur of stuff. We got the shadow from the sponge here. Adding a little more darks now. I was watching Bob Ross the other day, and I love how he just talks to himself, and I can totally relate. He doesn't quite have the screaming cats in the background. It's to my advantage. Okay. All these weird drips I don't really care about. The brightest bright I'm seeing is right on this shiny pan or pot. I should probably wait for this to dry a little more. I definitely should, but I'm not. Some of these cool reflections coming in, and these scissor handles that probably won't read. My palette is just a mess because I'm not used to working with these colors, so I can't quite figure out how much of each color I need to mix. Okay. And go back in and add some more darks. I feel like getting the darks is the hardest part with these things. Some people would probably be smart and use black along with the palette, but I like a little bit of a challenge. If you're wondering, my cat is okay. He's just deaf. The sink reflection coming up here, which is kind of cool. I didn't realize that's what it was. Okay. I really want this part of this pan to be super dark. So my paint's getting more opaque. It's dark here. And right where it's meeting this mug, you get this shadow here from the mug. Get some of these really dark darks up here too, and hints of it in the reflective material. Oh my God. countertop back here. There's a shadow cast from the sink. Whew. This is not a pretty one. Maybe I can fix it. We shall see. I'm not too worried yet. It's a little bit crazy with the glasses, the wine glasses that I have going on. It's a little bit confusing. When you're working with really complicated subjects, it's easier if you can like some kind of landmark areas. So for me, there's a sponge, glass goes here, and I have these bottles. And I'm going to put the tops right there. It'll kind of help me see it a little better. All right, let's add this bright red thing that I've got going on here. I would call this the ugly stage. Every painting goes through an ugly stage, and this is definitely the time. Let's see here. Handle. Something like that. And when I'm putting in these colors, I kind of look around and see where else I might be seeing that color. So in the wine glasses, there's a little bit of red. That's about it. There isn't too much red. There's a hint of something reflecting here. The shadow, this mug. My colors are super muddy right now. This ellipse is terrible. And yes, I like to just rip apart my work as I'm working. I'm my own worst critic. I'm pretty much just trying to cover up all the white spots. Except for this area, I want it to be the lightest. It's where the light's hitting. Even gonna build up the paint a little more. Straighten out these edges. See, I already forgot what the light was like around here. That's why it's important to try to put it in as early as possible. Even then, you still have to make things up. Right. I think I'm going to try to put some of these highlights in these wine glasses, as well as this mug. Let's kind of get this mug painted in a little better. Okay. That's that sky that I really wanted to push earlier. It's hard to get that color though, this palette. Okay, so then we have the wine glass stem here. We have a stem coming up here. Oops. So I clearly got this wrong. That's not where the wine is. It's actually here and here. Just gonna cover that. I don't think I'm going to put too much detail in the really far background stuff. We'll see. Back to these wine glasses. One. Beautiful. I'm kind of kidding. Let's see. What's going to help with these is pushing the values. Oops, I'm working way too watery right now. But I'm going to darken things around it. It's going to help make everything pop a little better. Oh, excuse me. All right. I'm not talking too much in this one. I don't know. I'm kind of fighting the urge to just give up. But usually, if I push through, it works out. So here's hoping. I think it's there. I just need to keep going. get a better image. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, it's getting there, I think. Sorry, this one is way more of a struggle than I thought it was going to be. I think I'm fighting against a lot of elements, like using paint I'm not used to and a palette I'm not used to. I'm gonna kind of sit back and let it dry a little bit. It's good to step back too. So, okay. And go and try to add some of these highlights. Here's one here, one here. Some of them I don't want to be quite as bright as others. When I'm putting these highlights in, I'm just squinting a lot. Kind of seeing which ones come out the most. Wine ones have a nice little pink sheen to them. Have some SodaStream bottles back here. These things are so annoying. They only last like a year, and you can't even use them in the dishwasher. Alright. Sharpen up some of these edges before the light completely goes away. pretty dark back here. But there is a slight lighter part to it. This little lip. Kind of see these lines curving around. The spoon handle's making this weird tangent right here. Try to fix that. Trying again with this non-existent black. I'm not going to answer that. Because I'm an introvert. Just going to pretend like no one's there. So I'm trying to make this dark spot even darker. There's a handle to a wooden spoon coming out here. Kind of like. Oh, hold on, it's my neighbor.